I'm Kaycee.
And I'm Rai, and this is Pleasure and Play, the show. Kaycee and I found each other like many of you have, online, and more specifically, Instagram. Like two kids on a playground, we had the bright idea to start a business and form a friendship at the same time. Our platform, Pleasure and Play, provides a space for cross-generational fun and freedom. Kaycee was born in the 70s and me at the break of the 90s. So we've lived through different cultural eras that allows us to bring different perspectives and navigate sensitive discussions on life, love, identity, and so much more. We created this show because we are obsessed with being Black women and having conversations that reveal our complexities and simplicities alike. We created this show to celebrate the space we've carved out for ourselves, online and in real life, that allows us to disrupt our norms and dive deep beneath our personal comforts to give some voice to that cross-generational friendship. We believe that every person who watches will connect with some aspect of our journey and be inspired to choose more vulnerability and courage. We love the fact that we've come from two different eras and still we found ourselves in one another. And now we hope you'll find yourself here and enjoy the interactive exercises shared with our community here on Pleasure and Play the show.
If they're able to understand how this could hurt you, that's empathy.
I really would like to forgive myself.
I think so. Yeah, I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, I don't want you to overthink it. So we're going to...
I'm scared.
Start your morning with us every Tuesday on the Be More Morning Show. We know you deserve to be more. You deserve to have more. You deserve to embrace and step into all of the wonderful things that make you you. And our morning show is going to help you do that. So join us every Tuesday for the Be More Morning Show.
Welcome to another
Another
episode of Pleasure and Play.
Pleasure and Play with Kaycee and Rai.
Boom. What she said.
We're here for it.
We're also very silly because we are.
It's one of those days. So let's get into this I'm curious portion of our show with this theme of apologies, overdue apologies, and then all things under that umbrella.
Okay.
What I really want to know is, how do you accept an apology from someone without implying that it's okay? Right? Like, because I have been guilty of hearing someone apologize and say, it's okay, but it's not okay. So how do you accept apologies when the person was just wrong?
You just jump right in there today.
Yeah.
I think I guess the bottom line, there's apologies are so loaded because we don't need someone else to apologize to us. So but if someone is actively apologizing, but you don't want that to accept that as behavior that's acceptable moving forward, I think it comes back to how you respond and what you do moving forward. What is the behavior that you give off next? So if I'm in our friendship that we're forming, at some point I may hurt your feelings or do something that is outside of your boundaries.
Sure.
And if that behavior is unacceptable, I would imagine, one, you would tell me, and even if I apologize, you might place heavy emphasis on the fact that that was not tolerable. And should that happen again, it might completely change the nature of our relationship. Like really just placing the emphasis on that, but then also the behavior that follows that would be if I engineer that, or the close that you would have to cut it at the head, so to speak, cut at the neck.
Yeah. So really honoring that boundary.
I think it's just different for everyone though, because there's no cookie cutter way to answer that. I guess putting the relation or the responsibility back on yourself though, on the fact that what you tolerate after someone comes out of integrity with you will dictate the next steps in your relationship. So how do you actively do that? It's not about words.
Yeah.
It's action.
It's what you do. In the moment though, what do you say?
I think
right when someone gives you an apology,
it's interesting.
Like, do you say like thank you for apologizing? Like, where did you go with the acknowledging? I guess that's what. How did you acknowledge their apology?
I had an exact, like, literal example of this end of last year, sometime last year, and someone called to apologize for something that, I mean, at that point, so much time had went on between it that I didn't even, wasn't necessary for me.
Yeah.
But I wanted to give her the space to get what she needed. So I think it sounded like, I can see that this was important for you. And while it was not an expectation of mine, I still find it valuable. Something like that. You know, like, while I have no expectations of you, while I've already moved forward for myself, I can see that it's important to you. And if that helps you,
I like that.
Then I'm with it.
That's awesome. Because you're honoring her process, what she needed to do to apologize, but also acknowledging that you didn't put that expectation out there.
Yeah. And I needed to say that because I don't want you to think that I'm sitting around. And I think I said, I don't hold on to things the way that perhaps you do, or maybe others do. So I've already moved forward.
You've already moved forward. But
it's situational. Yeah. There are some people who I sure would love a call and an apology from. Yeah. There are some people that I'm probably never going to get that from. There are some people that probably are waiting on me to do that. And there are some people that I'm never going to call and apologize. So you know, it goes, so it's all situational.
It is.
How about you? How would you respond to an apology that while you accept the apology, you don't accept the behavior?
I honestly need to do a better job with that, because my automatic response is wanting to make the other person feel better. Like that, it's okay. Like, or minimizing the impact of what they did.
I get that.
And sometimes I think when people apologize, when I think about when I automatically respond with it's okay, I feel like the way the person is apologizing is like far exceeds the actual outcome of what they're apologizing for. They're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry that, and I'm like,
meaning it's over.
Yeah, like that's way too much apology for like, you stepped on my toe on accident. And you're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry that, and it's like, it's okay. I'm like, my toe didn't fall off. I'm fine.
Does does it come off like insincere and ingenuine?
I don't think so. I think the person is just like, they really feel bad in that moment. And that's been my experience. I mean, I've had some apologies where I felt were insincere. Especially the ones that start off, I'm sorry, but you.
Not an apology.
Yeah, sorry.
We need a whole class on how to apologize. Yeah. The empty space between someone's words that you're receiving but don't require a reaction is an uncomfortable space. And to your point about getting credit, I think that's what I've been practicing with is the like awkward quiet space after someone speaks and apologizes or says something I just don't agree with. So instead of immediately retorting, I'm like, you hear that? That quiet space requires for us to be really clear about what's next.
Right.
So if I don't, if you don't need me to say something, like, and I find this with relationships that are really done, things that are so far gone that they don't require you pour more energy into them.
I like that.
Then just
leave it.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's important.
Thank you. Received. That's a lot of time.
That's like an
Received.
email. Received.
I think that is a powerful statement, and it doesn't have to be nasty.
Yes.
Received.
Yep.
Tone and genuine energy. Received. Thank you. Received. But I don't need to give you. I don't need to pour back into you.
Yes.
That's hard.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Sidebar. Sidebar, y'all. I did have an ex who called, who I worked through, one of my hardest relationships, who had worked through all this stuff over the years. And I picked up a number, picked up a call, didn't know who it was. As soon as I heard his voice, I went, okay, you know what time it is. Like, now all of this therapy, all this training, all this, you're caught off guard, midday. Let's see what you can do, you know. And I use it as a chance. I could have hung up, but I use it as a chance to measure my growth. And I hopped on that call, and I remember him going and going and going, and I stopped him, and I said, "Hey, I just want to be clear that if you're looking for a conversation, if you're looking for me to pour anything into this conversation, I have nothing to give you. I've given this enough."
That's powerful.
If you just want me to listen to you and hear you, I can give you 5 minutes of my time. But that's it. If there's something you need to get off your chest, I'm here for it. But I have nothing. I will not be giving you anything unless God tells me to. And I was so serious about that. And I ended up leaving that feeling whole and full and good.
That's such a great emotional, mature place to be, to do that.
Again, years of preparation for one call.
One call.
The moment.
And you showed up.
I think so. Yeah, I'm grateful for that. Have you ever had a situation like that? Where you just had to, you could see it was... I don't want to start throwing out labels, but I know his personality style, it would have went somewhere else.
I'm trying to think, have I? Probably not, actually. No, I don't think I have. Not like that. Not where, I think I've had empty apologies, or apologies that were really for the other person. It really wasn't for me. That's what comes to mind in that moment of, they felt better, but it didn't make me feel better. Yeah.
So here's the question we want you all to sit with today. Take a look, pause, reflect, come back, and we'll talk about this on one of our morning shows.
Love it.
I think when it comes to overdue apologies, one has to see if the juice is worth the squeeze, right? But it depends on who is the person. It's the person that's doing apologizing, or the person that needs to be apologized to. So if I'm the person doing apologizing and I've wronged something and haven't attempted to correct it or atone for it, and now I want to apologize, and it should have happened a long time ago. Am I really apologizing? Is that really about the apology, or is that about me giving myself permission to let myself off the hook and be okay? And me going for this effort to make this apology, may do more harm than good, because now it's opening wounds and opening things that may have otherwise have been settled or dealt with one way or the other, right? And I think the same way people weaponize truths, people weaponize apologies. So because I did X, you now have to do Y. And I think when you think about it in context of how many apologies are really genuine to begin with, is it, level one, I'm just trying to get back to status quo and not lose access or privileges to whatever it is. Level two, okay, I will make a change. I'm a bit contrite, and I will adapt or change whatever behavior wrong, as long as I get what I want and have access to. Or is it level three? Whatever I did was wrong. I've learned from it, and I'm not going to do it anymore, regardless of what the benefit may be for me getting access or not. I'm just going to do it regardless, like true atonement.
I feel like growing up, I always had this entitlement when it came to apologies and how people treated me, because I'm the type of person that I feel like I try to treat everyone with a certain level of respect and just care, just because that's how I was raised. And that was one of the big reasons why I really struggled after my breakup, because I felt like I was due an apology, right? I was like, well, she should have did this and she should have did that. And I can't believe she wouldn't do this. And I can't believe she would treat me like this. And that she felt like everything is good. And I'm sitting here and I'm upset and I'm heartbroken. And somebody told me something, and in a moment, it was really tough for me to hear it, but it was really freeing as well, which was nobody owes you anything. So when I hear overdue apologies, like I get where it comes from. Like I get the premise of it, but at the end of the day, we can't feel like we are entitled to someone doing something, right? Like at the end of the day, you treat people how you would like to be treated. Or honestly, I saw a post the other day that said you should treat people how they want to be treated, right? And that was from James Harris, Men to Heal on IG. And basically what he was saying is like, instead of treating people how you want to be treated, treat them how they want to be treated, because you two may have a completely different perspective on what, it looks like to treat someone. What I'm saying all that to say, like, we shouldn't make like these assumptions about people and their character, and we should just allow them to be who they want to be, even if that hurts, right? Even if that's not the best thing, because sometimes it's freeing. It's very freeing to know that, okay, this is how this person is, and now I can make a decision about whether or not I want to be with them or I want them in my life, right? But in terms of me and how I handle overdue apologies on my end, when I feel like I've wronged someone, it stings, and I have to like address it. And I don't really, sometimes it takes me a while, and sometimes I do it like Wood says, to kind of get myself off of the hook. I've done that in the past before. But most of the times I try to address it in the moment and hold myself accountable. And it's coming from a place of me understanding that I did something wrong, and like I want you to know that I was wrong, and that you're not crazy for how you feel or how you reacted.
Perfect. So we're going to do a quick fire round of this or that. Okay. Very simple. You're going to hear, I don't want you to overthink it. So we're going to
I'm scared.
Call out the two. It's not. I mean, I might slip.
Yeah.
Ray, just as a warning, I might slip one or two in that's
I know
not
your
on our
moves,
list.
Kaycee.
I'm sorry in advance.
I know your moves.
Okay.
So
All
just
right,
a reminder,
you know.
this is a good, like, remember we have 2 Gen Xers and we have 2 millennials. So this game is more so related to that than anything. So keep that in mind.
Here's the first one. Netflix or YouTube? This or that? Kizzle, don't overthink. You got your thinking face on.
He was typing. I knew what Kizzle was going with.
Yeah, I did. Phone call or text? Phone or text? Okay. Cardio or weights? Ooh, that's changed for me. Oh, I'm the only cardio one of them. Okay. Okay. Big party or small gathering?
Football or basketball?
Okay.
All right. Facebook or Twitter? Oh, that's hard these days.
Interesting.
While walking, music or podcasts?
Off script.
What?
What is that?
I feel that.
Give or receive?
That's a good one.
Top or bottom?
Okay.
All right. Okay. Jogging or hiking? Okay.
Everybody in here likes to hike. I see. That's good.
Horror movie or comedy? Okay.
iOS or Android?
Yep. Bath or shower? I'm surprised by that. That's good to know. I'm with you, Wood. Work hard or play hard? Yeah.
I'm fine.
You know, let me clarify that.
Because I was like, wait, what?
This is gonna be a post. Matter of fact, let's just say equal.
This or that. You're not following the rules, Wood. It's this or that.
It's
It
my
forces you to
personality.
choose. I understand that. And I'm
Okay.
I'm with
challenging
you on that
your
one. Work
personality.
equals play. I don't
Work
know
is
about
play for me too. Okay, so it's work.
Kissing with tongue or no tongue?
Yeah. That's cute.
That is.
Toast or eggs?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Nice car or home interior?
Really? I was not expecting that. And then how about we bring it in with the close with morning sex or PM sex?
How do you choose?
I'm with, how do you choose?
It's hard, but that's the point of this or that. Wood, what's the holdup?
It took me just as long now, you know.
PM sex, it's always morning somewhere. Really? You just have to add like a little.
It's so signature Wood. I love it.
A little razzle dazzle.
Great. Okay.
So good.
Thank you for playing with us.
Anything going on that you guys want us to know that we can support before you hop off?
Some things are coming up. So we're gonna be launching an exclusive community. That's what I'm pushing heavy for. So we're gonna have like low-cost therapy in there. We're gonna have community forums, live podcast episodes, exclusive merch, all that exclusive stuff. Trying to take the people off of IG because these social media platforms, man, they don't care about us. So and I'm tired of trying to build on new ones and back all these new. Like I love the whole push to get to Black apps and all these Black social media apps, but the way I see it is like, if you're not completely in control and own what it is that you're putting up, then you're always at the mercy of somebody else, regardless of if they're Black or not, right? And so
Very much so.
Yep. And there's too many people in the community that depend on what it is that we're doing, and so it just like doing them it'll be doing them a disservice to keep on pushing them to platform to platform when I could just build something now that could really help them. So that's the plan. So that's the only thing that's coming out. It's probably going to be in like a few months.
Black excellence right here in this room.
Absolutely.
Yes, it is. All this therapy
all.
and evolution. I love it.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Have a great afternoon.
All right.
Cool.
See you
Thanks, guys.
Kaycee, you've read the question. So is there an apology that someone you feel like you're owed from anyone? And what's the situation? Tell us about it.
You know what? I think I'm slow to answer because I recognize that I don't want to need the apology. And that's the part. But for the sake of the question, would it be amazing and interesting to see the person's growth, even though I'm not connected to this person anymore in any real way? I think there would be some happy thoughts, feelings happening inside of me. Yeah, I think so. I have an ex who I believe betrayed me more than I even know in the relationship. And so there's things that I know that they actually never admitted to, as far as sleeping with other people, misusing my funds, you know, things like that. Things that are very toxic and totally like disregarding of someone. So misusing, stealing, like all of that. And so it would be interesting to hear their reflection about it. I think I would be more interested in the reflection that came with the apology, because it's literally probably been 20 years. I mean, it's been a really long time. And so a part of me, what I do wonder is if they think about how they wronged me. Do they feel bad about that?
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
The reflection piece. You want to hear the process.
I want to hear
not
the
just
process.
not an empty apology.
Yeah, like you're a grown ass man right now. And I would hope that there's been some amazing evolution that's happened in your life over, I don't know, 20 years.
Yeah.
That you have to accept that was just dirty.
Yeah. I'm just sitting here really processing it because
But I don't know.
Yeah.
But some people don't change. Some people don't evolve in the way that we want them to or would hope. And I also wonder, like, but what would that really do for me now?
And maybe they have done all those things, healed, processed, grown, and maybe the best way for them to serve you is to keep moving.
Yeah.
And to not reopen and rehash and revisit that with you. Although we never know what the other person really wants or needs until we ask. But some things are more risky to ask. I think that would be my situation. I do, similar to you, feel like there's only one person who it would be very healing.
Yes.
To hear
it.
An apology from, for both of us.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Yeah.
For both of us. For both of us to say, I feel I am owed that first step, but not that I'm exempt from an equal apology. Meaning,
yes.
I think there has been, this is years in the making, this relationship. I think we've had phases of, I hurt you, you hurt me, I hurt you, you hurt me. And it's just been mirroring one another.
Okay.
But I do believe that in our adult awareness, while it may not have been intentional, it was malicious. Like, and that's hard to, like it was protective. I'm for myself, the way that he treated me. Like it was very survival, very disregarding. And maybe I'm too forgiving, but I don't look at that and see that as the worst part. I see how you moved after as the worst part, meaning you did your dirt. You made the mess. You have a chance to honor me and let me go. Yeah. And move forward without making me feel that I was at all responsible for your decisions and choices. And if you don't want to do that, that's fine. But that would be incredible just to hear. I am responsible for where I took us at this chapter. How we reacted and responded and the choices you made are on you. But I am responsible for getting us there and for having created that scenario that I never had to welcome you into. Hearing that would be incredible. I already know that for myself, though, of course. I've had to make peace with that. But
yeah, that's the key right there. You had to make peace with that. I had to,
and will probably have to.
Yeah.
But that would be the one apology that I think would be very healing and reciprocal, because I do believe that I could also meet that with thank you, and what I need to say to you is this, and let us go forward and like heal this part of us that we don't need to hold on to anymore.
Yeah.
Like really break that cycle.
Yes. Because there really is, to me, like an umbilical cord.
Yes.
That is connected from us to the other person when we haven't created any peace for ourselves around being hurt.
Especially when we're young. Like you said, 20 years. I was young, and it just it carries on. And in life, we're always going to have those pieces.
Yeah.
But it would be nice if two parties could come together and cut the cord together.
It would be in an ideal
It's a
world.
little ideal.
Yeah. And then you have people who really lack empathy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I believe that this young man,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I don't think he had that capacity
Mm-hmm.
in the way at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I don't know how he is today, but and when you lack empathy, like you're liable to do, I mean, anything. Hurting someone, betraying someone.
Yeah. What does that look like? I would like to just really quickly go into like characteristics of what does it look like when someone is empathizing versus not? You know, how does it sound? What are some words we should listen for?
Yeah, that's a good question.
You know, I don't want this to be a conversation around narcissism and gaslighting specifically.
Yeah.
But how can we tell that an apology is genuine versus it not being?
So I think when people truly take ownership of their actions and they're able to articulate that their actions caused you pain, that's empathetic, right?
That's great.
And even if they feel justified or whatever they've decided in their mind, if they're able to understand how this could hurt you,
great.
That's empathy.
Awesome. I hope that anyone listening, that be kind of a marker for you.
Yeah. That's definitely empathetic. When someone lacks empathy, I think the easiest way to think about it is they can only feel their own feelings.
Yeah.
That's it. And they're not impacted by how other people feel. It actually, not only are they not impacted, they don't care.
They don't care. Yeah. Yeah.
This is making you think of something.
That same scenario, I remember at the end of like our very last time speaking, that person kind of said, don't ever do this again, right? This thing. And then within months, that person was doing that. You know, like, don't contact us, but contacting. Like, I'm just like, boundaries.
Yeah. What are we doing here?
True boundaries. But it's easy, to your point, I don't think that person can recognize that their behaviors affect other people the same way that they may feel affected.
Yeah.
Such growth. Thank you for giving us like some markers.
Absolutely.
Kaycee, that's good stuff. I hope we took notes. Yeah. I'm curious to know on our morning show, like what kind of apologies people feel either they owe or that's overdue to them.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think too, it's important to note that if there is an apology that you feel you need to make and maybe opening that up because you think you need to do that is not going to be helpful for the other person.
Yes.
That there's still a process that you need to do to forgive yourself.
Yes. Very important because not everything needs to be revisited.
That's right.
Or rehashed. It's sometimes much better to do that internal work.
Yeah.
And there are ways to practice physically releasing.
Yep.
You know, cord cutting.
Yep. It's one of my favorite ways.
Yeah, me too.
Prayer.
And so visualizing prayer. Yes. Ho'oponopono, which is a technique.
I never heard of that.
The practice, I first heard it.
How do you spell it? Okay.
Ho'oponopono. It's a Hawaiian proverb, I believe. Please correct me in the comments. Let me know. But we can link the information into our comments. But it's this technique that I first heard in one of my like personal development courses. I wish I could remember his name. It was gifted to me by a friend. But anyway,
cool.
It essentially is if let's say we had a strife between us.
Okay.
I see you, Kaycee. You see me. I forgive you, Kaycee. And I forgive me. I bless you, Kaycee, and I forgive me. And I'm now releasing this, whatever this is.
Strife. Oh, that's
just
beautiful.
this honoring one another and kind of
and releasing it together.
I had a mentor that recently passed, and when I was going through some deep healing, I had to repeat that every single day. And anytime I was triggered, I would have to go immediately into repeating that and reciting that, and that was very helpful for me.
I bet.
I really sat with this, took a little walk. And I think what I need to forgive myself most for, and just put some compassion towards, would be this hyper independence. I know where it comes from. I know exactly where it stems from. And it's pretty ingrained in my history from a long line of matriarchs, strong women. But it's not just about being a woman. It's also about my community and observing the fact that I teach and stand on principles that say we are here to support each other, and you can count on us. You should reach out for help, but not necessarily putting that to practice for myself on a day-to-day basis.
So there's a few things that I really would like to forgive myself for. And I think in some ways I have. But it's almost a daily forgiveness that needs to happen, which is interesting. I'm still getting into the swing of forgiving myself when I don't think about, I guess I don't want to say it that way. See, I'm second guessing myself, which is something I probably need to forgive myself for as well. But I think what I'm trying to articulate really is there's so many dreams, aspirations that I didn't pursue in life because I didn't believe that I could do it. And I don't want to hold on to that because it builds resentment within me. I don't want to exist in that space. And I don't want to hold on to unforgiveness and allow my past and opportunities that I didn't take to create any type of forecast now for the things that I do. And so I'm very mindful that forgiving myself for not believing in me, it's important.
I've built a really strong community. I have great friends. And I didn't until recently learn how to ask for help or for the things that I need. And I can see how that has affected not just the quality of my relationships, but the perception of who I am in my relationships. If you always come off as strong, people don't necessarily have an insight or like that access to vulnerability from you to know, hey, this is my friend when she's in need. This is my friend when she's doing really well versus when maybe she's not in a great space. And this is how I can identify those things. Because it's one thing to be able to support someone because they tell you, but if you never show anyone your areas of weakness or vulnerability, you don't give them the opportunity to serve you. So I believe the thing that I want to forgive myself most for is for feeling like I'm heavy, or that the needs that I have are heavier burdens than another person's in my life. And I want to change that. I've definitely been doing the work to do that, but there's still a lot of work if I'm honest. So that toxic independence, hyper independence is something I'd like to release. And I'd like to forgive myself for not accepting, asking for, trusting that support is right there. And yes, not everyone's gonna be able to help me the way I wanna be helped, when I wanna be helped. Not everyone's going to hit the mark, but if I don't practice that level of vulnerability, I can only go so far in my relationships, and I have learned that over the years repeatedly. So I hope this helps someone. I'm certainly processing it as I'm sharing it and looking forward to put it in action a little bit more every single day.
I think that negative self-talk and the negative drama that goes on in my mind at times, I then shame myself or judge myself for having them. I think as a therapist, there is this expectation that I put on myself to be at the best emotional and mental health possible, which I need in order to serve my clients. However, I am human, and again, that area of shame and feeling like I can't not be okay, right? And part of not being okay sometimes has been not believing in me. And I don't want to hold on to that, and I want to forgive myself for that. And can I just add, I also want to forgive myself for some poor choices that I've made in relationships. I'm just going to add that in there. I really feel like if it's possible to have a percentage of forgiveness, I'm at about 95%. I've done a lot of self-work with self-forgiveness around poor choices in relationships. Yeah, but I want that to be 100%. So that's where I am. Forgiveness breeds so much growth and freedom, and that's what we're here to experience.
Hey friends, we appreciate you so much for watching Pleasure and Play the show. Be sure you're following us on social media at @iPleasureandPlay.
And if you want to join in the Pleasure and Play as a virtual guest, please visit our website at www.ipleasureandplay.com.
I don't know if I put my... See, hey Siri. Did she pick up?
She can't while she's recording.